depression. 3 key ways to overcome it today. So this is obviously a big topic, especially with what we've been going through since last March. But here are the 3 things that you can help to overcome it today. 1, having a morning routine. Number 2, creation. Now stick with me on this one because it's going to need a little bit more explanation of what creation actually means. And then number 3, family, and being with family, not just spending time. There's a huge difference on just spending and being in the same room and doing Netflix and then being with family. So let's go review this. And this is stuff that when I'm sharing this, it's because I have gone through this many a times, and it always comes back to these 3 simple things. There's a few more factors in it that can happen, but these are the 3 things that you can control today. And it's not about a pandemic, it's not about the government, not about the president, it's not about how you can't, you lost your business or something, but these are 3 things that you can control today. So take action on this. One of the biggest things, and I share this so many times, it's about a morning routine. And when I start to wake up with anxiety, well, not start, I do this all the time. I wake up with anxiety. I'm like, oh my God, I got so many things on my plate. How can I get through every single thing? And you get this anxiety. But one of the biggest, this is probably the biggest and most important thing that I can share, it's starting your day off right. And if you don't have a morning routine and you're just getting up and you're but you're winging it and you're like getting a coffee, going to shower, and then I got to go to work, you're going to lead yourself into a place to where it's going to depress you. And let me share why. Like for instance, my morning routine, I wake up, I meditate, do some breath work, and I'm usually, this is about like 4:30, about an hour and a half before sunrise. I'm doing exercise and doing some yoga, and then I'm going out at 6 a.m. I'm looking at the surf if the surf is there. But the most important thing, when I start being very lackadaisical, and I'm not talking about just kind of doing a couple push-ups and doing, some jumping jacks and doing a couple yoga stretches. I'm talking about really sweating and getting a workout in. And you don't have to go to a gym. There's so many different things that you can online, yoga, online workouts. There's these apps. I got a cool app that's the 8-minute workout. And I tell you, on 8 minutes, I can sweat and get myself going. And here's the one big thing, and I want to share this with everybody because I think this is so important. And I always say this to myself, if you can't do freaking 8 minutes of a workout, you are a lazy piece of crap. If you can't find the time to do 8 minutes, and that's where I'm like, man, I feel like crap, I don't want to do this. But it's like, do that, because if you do that, then you are going to feel much better. Because if you don't get your body working, your body is a direct resemblance of how and who you are going to be through the day. And if you don't get your blood and your body moving in the morning, you're going to set yourself up for disaster with your mind, your communication. You're going to be looking like crap. You're going to be feeling like crap. So most importantly, always have a morning routine where you're getting up, if you don't meditate, spend some time after you work out and just be with yourself for like 5 to 10 minutes. There's so many apps. I do an app called BrainTap, and I listen to it. It's like binaural beats. There's Headspace. There's Calm. There's so many different things, and one of those things. It's like I look at it as like kind of like training wheels on your bike, like to where it's like easy meditation because you just put it in, you relax, and let the binaural beats go. Okay, so that's the morning routine. I've hit on this one so many times, and I also have this surf method, but I'm not going to go through it today. Creation. All right, now this is the big one that you all have to pay attention. And I've had many of these conversations to where, man, I'm just in a funk, I'm feeling like crap. And this is me too. So when I'm sharing this is like my own therapy when I'm looking back at the camera. I'm looking back because I get into the same rut and the same funk. And what happens is when I'm not creating my own path of what I'm doing. So like, for instance, this is a creation right now where I'm being able to speak to you, actually voice out and be able to share, have it through be an Instagram Live, Facebook Live, learning something and then teaching it. And it's one of the most important things. We can learn, like you can pick up a couple nuggets here, but in order to retain it, you got to do it. So like, for instance, I'm giving you 3 examples, and instead of like, oh, I learned these 3 examples, start applying this, teach it. If you have to share it on another Facebook Live, Instagram Live, go ahead and do it. But if you're not creating something for yourself and you're not having something to where you can just go after, you're going to be depressed, because us as human beings, we want to be able to create and make a difference and an impact in the world. And if you're not doing that, if you're just going through the day-to-day life, and I'm not talking, even let's just say I don't have time to go create, I'm not, I work a job. If you work a job, there's got to be some other passion in your life, something to where you have a mission and then you're going to go for it. Because if not, you are going to have this depressed feeling and living in a prison for the rest of your life. And you're going to get to the age of 47 like I'm at now, and you're going, man, what the hell did I do after all these years? So if you're working a corporate job or something, 9 to 5, and you got family, take an hour per night on doing something you absolutely love. And it may be, let's just say, a course or selling something. Like, for instance, I created Unstoppable Beard. I have a beard, and it goes with my brand on surfing and being able to do this. So I'm like, this is something that I can fully get behind. I don't have any excuses because I'm not traveling around the world, and I had those excuses. But you got to be able to create it. And it comes down to the creation of something that you are extremely passionate about. Now, it's not like, hey, I just want to, I want to go create, $1 million next year in real estate. And if you're not excited about real estate, don't go that route. Or like, you know what, I'm going to go make $1 million bucks on cryptocurrency. But if you're not excited about it, it's not going to be a passion or a mission. You can make money, and I tell you, I have made lots of money. I have lost lots of money. I've had it to where the bank account is so full, and I've had it to where I have had a $35 non-sufficient fund fee because I couldn't afford a $5 burrito. So I've seen it from the highs and lows, and one thing I know, it's not the amount of money that you have in your bank that's going to make you happy. It's the things that you're doing and the value that you're bringing into where you can wake up and you're like, fuck yeah, I feel great to be alive. And this is a nice segmentation into family. And I could say friends too, and that's key, but this is so important, is the family time. And with my wife and my daughter's 14. My wife and I, we've been together for 23 years. And together through the 23 years, we've seen highs, we've seen lows, we've hated each other, we've loved each other more than ever. But what we've come to realize, especially during this pandemic where we're stuck at home, there's not much traveling. Now people are being able to travel a little bit and getting out. But we're also going to go through the same cycle. There's going to be another variant. There's going to be this. Oh, you got to get another shot. There's all these things that are going to keep on getting thrown your way. And what you better come to realize, that your family is the most important thing that you have. But if you, A, are not doing a morning routine and taking care of yourself, 2, you're not creating and going after your own passion and something that you are excited about, you're never going to have the relationship with your partner, with your kids. This is so key. And it's not just being like, hey, I spent some quality time with my family, last night, and all you did was have pizza and watch Netflix. It's not about just being in the same room. It's having deep conversations. It's having the love. Really, really caring about what they do. Asking the questions. working on a project together. My wife and I and my daughter, we all have our own businesses, and we also work in the same businesses as well. And people ask all the time, do you want to go, should I go into business with my family? Absolutely yes. I had my brother part of the business, my sister, and I've had some of the most bonding experiences. And there's also been some times where you're like, oh my God, especially when you're 23 years together and you're like, oh, you're in the same house and then you can't leave. But there's a bond that you will have that you will get like no other, and you can go deep. And I'm not talking about talking 24 hours of business. When it's family time, we're not talking about business. We're talking about, what is really happening. How are you doing? But really being with them. Not just saying surface things about how are those Cubs or, the Milwaukee Bucks just won it. No, talking about the things that really matter in your life and making a difference. And when you can make a difference in your family's life, you're going to have the best bond that you will ever. It goes beyond. It goes beyond words, and where we've got our probably our best relationship after 23 years is doing our individual work on ourselves. And it's doing the work and going deep into it and finding out who you are. So I can go deeper on each one of these than I will, so stay tuned. But if you have any questions, hit me back on Instagram, Facebook, or send me a DM through my website, on official Brian Swan, and you know what? I'll be able to help. But if this helped, be able to write some questions. I'll be able to respond to you guys later. That's it from Bali, Indonesia. It is Sunday here, Sunday morning, and I'm about ready to go create right now. And another thing, turn off all your notifications on all your devices, because when you're getting bombarded all through the day with notifications, you can't create, you can't focus. And if you're not doing that and being with your family, then it's all wasted time. That's it. As always, be unstoppable.